We're now stood at the Old King's Head in Chester. It's the most haunted place in Chester, and you can actually book haunted hotel visits here. It's a very, very well-known haunted hotel. It was built in 1622, and it's got many alleged resident ghosts there, from a little girl. Apparently rooms 4 and 6 have heavily paranormal and ghostly activity, and they renovated it in 1933 and found a sword. Now, one of the alleged ghosts there is a tall phantom-like figure, and it looks like he's looking for something, he's wandering, and they believe that this sword that they found is what he's looking for, and it's now on display at the hotel and bar inn. So when it opens, we're going to go in and have a walk around. So I'm now inside the Old King's Head, and one of the people at work here have just gave me a guest book. Now this guest book has all of their paranormal experiences that they've had here, and this is before it was even known as a paranormal haunted place. So you can actually book to stay here in the haunted rooms, and they video all of your experiences. But before this happened, people were reporting to see figures and phantoms and things moving, and this gentleman has kindly handed it me, so I'm going to show you some of the pages now.
If something paranormal was potentially to happen now,
Yeah.
we could go and check it back on cameras.
Oh right, yeah, of course.
So, this is where we brief our guests that stay at the hotel.
Yeah.
And then they kind of get one of these for the night. In there is their walkie-talkie and radio, so we can contact them. And then, unlike a normal paranormal investigation, I don't know if you've ever been on one, they investigate themselves around the hotel,
Right, okay.
rather than being joined by the team.
Yeah.
So what we do is we watch all 24 cameras.
Wow.
And then we follow everyone's investigation throughout the night, and we can check back live whether or not what their experiences is actually paranormal or not.
Okay.
9 times out of 10 it isn't.
Yeah.
Like 9 times out of 10 it's a car outside, or I mean, yeah, you know, there's a lot of things, but that 1 in 10 chance, we now know for sure whether or not this could be paranormal.
Yeah.
It's very rare we actually say, oh, it's a ghost for sure, right?
Yeah.
But you know, we know for a fact that it's something we can't explain at least. So.
Brilliant.
So we have our sort of banqueting area.
Oh wow.
It was said to used to be allegedly a brothel at one point.
Wow, okay.
I guess when you're 402 years old, the building's been something once.
Yeah, it's been everything at some point.
Yeah, it's been everything at some point. And there's no records of it because obviously, well, there wouldn't be. You know?
Yeah.
But it's really a fascinating place, and we get a lot of activity in here. Mainly why this glass is sat on this bar is because we caught a glass literally flying that way off the bar. We've seen a few come off the back bar over here as well. and it's a really, really active area.
Wow. Okay.
So generally on an investigation, we'll do a big group session around here, and it's probably the most active area. And again, there's 2 cameras in here covering it. So one of them's actually thermal as well. So we cover absolutely every angle at all times. If a chair moved now, which it has done before, it's pulled itself out, we would be able to go and literally check the camera.
Check the camera to make sure it's...
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Wow.
I've realised I can't do a normal paranormal investigation anymore.
Yeah.
It's sort of like doing football without VAR.
Okay.
You know, when you can't check it back to see whether or not it was an actual goal.
Well, you got is that audio equipment, are you?
I think that's just the microphones we use when we're filming.
Oh right, yeah. Cool.
And then we hand out REM pods and K2 meters to all the guests, but then we have loads of other equipment we use throughout the night as well.
Cool.
So you get the basics when you stay over, but we hand out other bits throughout the night and set up different sessions. But cool. I'll take you upstairs and have a look.
Brilliant.
It's pretty crucial there.
That's brilliant.
Again, this is room 1.
Oh, this is actually one of the rooms.
So as you can see, everything's sort of made to look older.
Yeah.
There was 2 reasons for it. The first reason was if we emulate how it potentially used to look, would that evoke something?
Yeah, of course.
In this room, there was allegedly the spirit of an old pastor or vicar, and it was all in the post-war era, hence the sort of style of the TV and the way this is all decorated, as opposed to the other rooms you'll see a completely different. Around the building as well.
Oh wow, Jesus.
They were all created so when you stay here, you have the element of exploration as well. Because you can get, if you're doing a ghost hunt, you can spend 6 hours and get nothing. Like that's just the nature of it, sadly. So we try to make it as engaging as possible for those boring times when nothing's happening. It happens, you know. It's because in there we have what is known as the Grace doll.
Okay.
Which is said to be one of the most haunted artifacts in the country.
Okay.
It's essentially the UK Annabelle doll.
I was just going to say, is that because that's under lock and key, the Annabelle doll in a museum somewhere.
This very much the same. I can show you where it normally is. So it's normally in room 8.
Okay.
And it has its own room with a plinth in the centre of the room, and it's chained down.
Okay.
But we're running experiments at the minute, putting it in other rooms. And we have cameras and live cameras, so we have a separate online subscription service. It's called My Haunted HQ.
Okay.
And that is essentially you can go in and watch live cameras.
Wow.
Of the hotel rooms as well. So every night we move these live cameras around, so you have a different view of the hotel.
Brilliant. Oh wow.
It's
Oh, you got a doll in the corner there.
This room is surrounded by mirrors. Essentially by, I would say, request. We had she called herself a dark witch.
Okay.
And she came in and she realised there was a couple of mirrors facing each other, which allegedly is a portal. Some people say it's a portal. So we kind of doubled down. Quadrupled down. I don't know how many mirrors there are in here, but there's a lot. Including this one here, which is part of the haunted collection that we have in the building.
Right, okay.
So this is a black mirror. I know it's painted white. I think there must be some sort of irony involved here. But it was owned, again, by a witch who said that when doing scrying sessions, where you kind of look in a mirror using candlelight, the candle would blow out in the mirror, but not in it. And we've tested it. We've yet to confirm or deny that, but that it was given to us on that basis. So we've had some really cool things happen in here. We had some, I don't know if you've ever come across some YouTube sort of debunkers. They go out and they go, not all of this is fake. We invited them here to prove that, anything could be fake. And whilst...
Yep, I heard that.
Hello? Okay. Right. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
you might have caught that on there.
I think I did.
Yeah. As I was saying. So one of the most common things that happens actually when people stay here, and you probably read it in some of those letters maybe, is walking up and down the corridors and knocking on the doors. Yeah. We may have just witnessed that right then. That's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. So one of these debunkers came in and he had his t-shirt pulled, which I guess you could go, I think my t-shirt's been pulled, but we checked it back on this camera, on his camera. We had another one of our own cameras in here. Yeah. And on all three of them, you can see his t-shirt gets full on yanked from the back over in that corner. Wow. And he was here to prove that it was all fake. So he left a bit stunned, but it was it was a really good night. Interesting what that was. This is an interesting room at the minute. So this is room 4.
Oh yeah, the 4 is one of the ones that.
Well, this here is a sword.
I think I've read about
now,
this.
This is normally above the bar.
Yeah.
We are conducting an experiment over the next 3 days. Yeah. Which started last night, where this sword was actually found in 1924. Okay. Under these floorboards that we're stood on now. Yeah. So during a major renovation, it was found in here, and it was said to potentially be used in a duel and hidden, or whether it was maybe buried to warn off evil spirits. Yeah. That's quite common with children's shoes buried in walls and things to warn off evil spirits. Yeah. So maybe it was something to do with that. And we have a theory which we're currently testing, which if that was legitimately paranormal, then maybe the theory's wrong. Yeah. The theory is that disturbing the sword is what caused a lot of the activity in the building. Right. So we're bringing it back to its kind of space. Yeah. To see whether or not that changes any of the activity in the building. We filmed an episode on that yesterday, and we're just we'll come back in tomorrow and we'll go through all of this footage. Yeah. And see whether or not anything's happened and whether it's could be coordinated with the sword being back in its original space. So. Wow. Yeah. Awesome. Is covered in dollars. There's probably well over 100 in here actually. They're absolutely everywhere. Wow. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely everywhere. The thing with this room is, like I said, I think I said to you downstairs. You know, there's children found in here. A Billy and a Sarah, said to be maybe 6 to 8 years old. Yeah. This doll in the corner over here in the white dress is known to move quite often. Okay. In fact, I need to check back the cameras because apparently the cleaners told me yesterday that it moved. It was moved on Sunday when there was no one in the building. Oh so wow! Okay. That's quite a common one. Yeah. I wouldn't be overly shocked if it was to throw itself off the shelf right now because it actually has done that when I've been talking about it. But this is a really interesting room. Lots and lots of activity. Probably the most recurring activity is knocks on the door. Okay. That people don't believe are paranormal. Yeah. Because they actually open the door thinking that someone's actually there. Oh right. Okay. And it's quite common that people will go and open the door, going, "Yeah, oh, there's no one there." No one there. So that's quite an interesting one. This room, yeah, for sure. Brilliant. Around. Oh. Based on normally is. It's currently in. Okay, it's normally in here. Wow. Oh yeah, watch that. So this is where it normally is. Okay. It's said to have an aversion to religious artifacts. Okay. So I specifically decorated this room to feel like the inside of a church. Crucifixes everywhere. Wow. Okay. Kind of the archways and stuff like that. This is the plinth that the grey stools normally sits on top of. Yeah. And it's in a glass box and is chained. It's chained down as well. Not because we think that the doll will get up and walk off and chucky the place up. Yeah. But more so because people have this bizarre obsession with it. Yeah. To want to get it out into the box. Yeah. People sit here. There was one woman who found a house key. I think someone else had dropped. Yeah. Found it under the chair she was sat on. Wow. And she just went, this must be the key to unlock the box, and she started climbing on the box to unlock it, and I had to come in.
Bloody hell.
And like, no, you can't do that.
So they become obsessed with it all of a sudden.
Completely.
Yeah.
We have people come in that have followed it for 6-10 years.
Wow.
And they go to absolutely every single venue it's ever been to. But yeah, here, unlike any other venue it's previously been in, it is 24/7 monitored, which is great. And
that's amazing. That.
And this is the laptop for the live cameras that people can watch as well. So yeah, when it's in here, there's a live camera on it constantly that you can kind of see it on our subscription service, which is cool.
Cool. Oh, nice pentagram.
Yeah, right. So this is room 6.
Yeah.
A lot of people come here long before we even started doing the show or anything like that. They used to come in and say, "Oh, is that haunted room?" And they were talking about this room. It was sort of infamous in Chester for being the haunted room of Chester. And it hasn't disappointed. We put the pentagram in for kind of 2 reasons. A lot of people assume that it is a negative thing. Actually, in its current formation, it is a protection thing. It's known as a pentacle. In the sort of the way it is. Otherwise, it would be inverted on a wall. And it would have to be drawn in a specific way and all these different things. So it's more of a decorational thing, but it also serves as a form of protection. However, we very regularly see people not step foot in it. They're like this.
I can imagine, they try and avoid it.
It's funny. We have seen this rock once ever, which was our first sort of major capture. Ended up in the New York Post and all sorts.
Oh wow!
Which is a really, really cool thing. And you've probably seen some of the photos of the shadow figure.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
My only ever personal experience with that was in here. I was sat in this chair. There was a gentleman on the bed, and there was a lady on the smaller bed just there. And I see a shadow pass what I thought was on the wall there. And it's only us 3 in the room. I thought, well, that's strange. No one's walked behind me to create that shadow. Okay. And then the guy on the bed said, "Whoa, wait a minute. Everything's just gone dark in front of me." At the same time, the woman said, "Has someone just walked away from me?" So we managed to triangulate it to the shadow walked through the bed from left to right.
Okay.
And I am incredibly skeptical. That's kind of what we do. Hence the cameras. We check back everything, and until we go to 24 cameras, come in and try and work it out ourselves, and we very rarely would say something is genuinely paranormal. And to actually see it for myself, I kind of went, okay, but it was verified by 2 other people. And unfortunately, because these are infrared cameras at night time, they don't seem to capture normal light shadows. So normal colour light, they don't seem to capture. So we have a theory currently that this shadow figure can't be captured on normal, on infrared. You will have seen the photos. All the photos you've seen are normal cameras.
Normal cameras,
As opposed to infrared. We have seen, we've checked back this shadow, which 3 people saw in the room, and you can't see it. So we have this theory that we're doing now, and we're bringing in other spectrums of cameras that, recording UV and all these different things, just to try and cover all bases, to see whether or not we can capture it. We have caught the shadow figure, I think, 3 times on camera. But 2 of them were on these cameras, which is great. However, it was during the day when they weren't in infrared mode. So it kind of backs up this theory. Statistically, we can only see it, we think, in normal colour light. Which goes to show why a lot of people downstairs in the bar, for instance, go, "I've just seen a shadow walk past me," and we don't see it. Because it's night time and it's on infrared cameras and stuff. It's really, really fascinating.
Cool.
I'll take you to the last room. And then...
Oh wow.
This is slightly different from the rest of the rooms. This is our haunted museum. We had a lot of people saying, "Oh, hey, could you take this doll off my hands? I think it's haunted."
Okay.
And we were, yeah, sure, okay. And they ended up going in the likes of room 5 with the other dolls and stuff. And then we realised that actually we already had a significant amount of a haunted collection.
Yeah.
Let's compile it all into a small museum.
Yeah.
So all of these items have been donated to us in some way or form that are allegedly haunted. This up here is probably one of the most fascinating. If you've ever heard of the Japanese suicide forest.
I have, yes.
That is from the Japanese suicide forest, which was sent to us from Japan, which is crazy. Yeah. It's an effigy that was said to essentially save the souls of people that have lost their lives there.
Yeah.
And they go around cutting these things down because they obviously don't want the tourism.
Yeah.
I think, was it Jake Paul who famously got cancelled for filming actual dead bodies there or something
I believe,
like that?
Yeah, one of those YouTubers.
Yeah, so we decided to kind of create this thing, and the idea was to have them constantly monitored.
Yeah.
To prove whether or not these things were actually haunted. Very little has happened.
Yeah. Okay.
But you know, we continue to monitor them and see what goes on. The other side of the room, we have artifacts from. We have another venue called My Haunted Manor USA.
Okay.
So they basically employ exactly the same principles we do here. 24/7 cameras, people staying overnight. The show is on the same channel, the My Haunted Project YouTube channel, and they create their own show just like we do.
Oh, right, okay.
And these are artifacts from the manor in America.
Okay.
It used to be a toy factory, so we ended up going in the attic and we found boxes of these toys and things. So yeah, really, really cool. We managed to bring some over here.
Cool.
So we have a little part of the American venue, and we're looking to constantly expand.
Yeah.
We've got a mansion called Walton Hall in Liverpool.
Okay.
That goes by the tagline "My Haunted Mansion."
Yeah.
And then we're kind of just going to try and employ this same aspect of a paranormal investigation where everything is constantly
monitored. Yeah.
Because we just think that that's the best possible way. I mean, I know your channel does a lot of kind of cryptid things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, if you could have constant cameras looking for the likes of Bigfoot or something, then you would choose to do that, sure.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's exactly the same here with us and the paranormal.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing. The stuff we've caught that normally we wouldn't. You
wouldn't if you didn't have all this, all the cameras running 24/7.
And a lot of it happens in the day.
Yeah.
Which is so strange.
That's awesome.
Lots of it. Yeah.
Cool. What's your name again? Sorry.
Brett.
Brett.
Yes.
Nice. I'm Jamie.
Jamie. Right.
I appreciate you showing me around.
No, it's fine. Don't worry.
This is more than what I bargained for.
We always say if we ever can.
We have almost proven a 2-year theory. We have pretty much proven that paranormal activity exists here in this
That's Brett. That's the guy who just showed me around.